Alright guys, Cerulean Capuchin here, welcome back to another episode of the Dwarven City, and this is what we built in the last episode. Now, I did say in the next episode, which is this one, that we were going to be working on planning out some interiors for this thing, and working on sort of like the forge and everything, but, not gonna lie, I kind of was racking my brain for about 20 minutes flying around here, trying to think of what exactly I want to do, and I just need to think about it a bit more. So instead, what we're going to do is work on something that's going to be a little bit more visible, so it looks like we've got some progress on the go. And that is, we're going to be working on a bit of a square area out here. Probably just a bit of a short episode, maybe. Maybe it's just that, or maybe we'll actually fully detail quite a lot up. So we're going to take some wool, and we'll go with red. Why not? I basically want to follow the contour of this here, so I'm going to have like that. In fact, I don't even need to do that, because if I'm going to be following that contour, we don't even need the walls. Let's try this again. Basically, what I want is, this is going to be the main street, and it's going to be a few blocks wide, so this is where our red wall can come in handy. Maybe like 7-ish blocks. It's about 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, that's only 5. 6. Don't want to go too far that way because it breaks into it. But how's that? 6 blocks wide. No, I'm thinking it needs to be bigger. So, like that. That is a good size for it, because this is like one of the main roads, so that is a good size. Basically, we're going to have like buildings over this side, buildings over that side, buildings all along here. Again, it's going to be like sort of following this a little bit until we get to here, and then this is going to be another main road, maybe a little bit smaller, maybe a little like less main, if that even makes any sense. Do I want it to hug around? No, so, I can't quite decide, like, if I want to build anything up here, like a little bit of a slummy area around here, or what. I'm not 100% sure what's going on. What I do want, and we'll take our yellow, is to plant a small road in about here-ish, just a small one. And then this seems like a good spot for a road to come along here, like that. Probably be up to this one, like that. And we'll build this red wall out. And like I said, I want there to be housing along here, so that is kind of big enough for one build. And then here we'll have a couple of buildings, but this isn't going to be as wide or as big this time. Bring that into like that. That's a decent size. And then maybe this could be like a smaller square again. Or is that going to be too many sections? I don't know. Maybe we'll just have a bit of like a staggered crossroad type small streets. And then this can lead into the big main street. Yeah, I guess that's kind of fine. Probably need to redo this main road here. Don't want it to go that close to the mountain. This is going to go off up here into there. And then all along here, I'm basically just going to do like slummy type buildings. These though, they're going to be quite prominent buildings. That's going to be pretty prominent building. This is going to be some sort of guildhall, I guess. I don't know. But what we're going to focus on is basically all of this grass section here. I don't know whether it needs flattening out, whether it needs raising up. Not really sure what we're going to be doing yet, but we're going to go straight into a time lapse now while I work all that out and basically come up with something interesting here. And I'm trying to go with like a classic medieval style plaza, something you'd find in like Prague in the Czech Republic, something like that. That's what I'm picturing here. Nice tall buildings either side. and we'll see what we can come up with. Alright guys, so hopefully you enjoyed that slightly longer time lapse there. We did quite a bit, sort of go over it now and then explain why this house is so small. So obviously the nice little courtyard, it's still unfinished, but until I've got the houses in place, I'm not really too sure what I want to do with this outside edge here. And I like just like the slope, I wanted to get a bit of a height variation into it, because I thought if it was just all flat it'd look a bit boring. And we've also managed to get this cool anvil statue. I'm not 100% happy with it, but it's the best I could come up with at the time. I think it still needs tweaking, and over the course of the next few episodes I probably will be coming back into changing the odd block here and there, but I like it. You can tell it's an anvil at least, anyway. So yeah, and then moving on, we did do the outline of these houses, and I did originally build up a set of houses, but I didn't like it, so I turned it all down, and that's why you didn't see the blue wool markings out in the time lapse. And you notice all of these buildings are on an angle, and I might be redoing these two, but this one's fine, that one's fine, and those two over there I quite like. And I thought, with this being so straight and a lot of the older stuff that I built being so straight, it would look kind of cool to have the medieval stuff, like the human style build, like the Dwarven stuff is all straight line, very nice, and then all the more human stuff is going to be angular. So what I've done is I decided this area, this valley in front here, would probably have been used for farming by the dwarves back in the day. So what we've got here is a small little farmhouse, very simple, very basic little house. I've deliberately not finished the roof off because what we're going to do is use this as a base and then build like a medieval house around this base. So what I mean by that is probably on these pillars here, we'll have some pillars going up and then going up again, and then do your sort of generic medieval roof style kind of thing, you know, that sort of thing going on. And I think that's going to look quite cool, quite interesting. And it just means that we need to, when we start doing the other normal medieval houses, because obviously we wouldn't have had like farmhouses right next to each other constantly, we're going to be using stuff like the cobblestone and the coral blocks just to show like a difference in the materials. Like, so this is more refined, like the dwarves built this because it's a lot nicer and cleaner, and then like the cobblestone will be just like your normal stuff. And that's the direction I want to go with this build. So we're going to pick out a few spots maybe for these farm type buildings, probably like one over here somewhere, probably one over there. maybe like a smaller one in the corner or something. Maybe like a barn type. I'm not too sure. But there's only going to be like 3 or 4 of these dotted around, and then we're going to build off them. And I'm thinking here of having some sort of like connecting bridge between these two buildings, so you've got this like cool little walk down, and I might even extend the staircase down a couple more blocks. Just again getting that height variation into the city, making it a little bit more interesting. Still, no idea what's going here, but we're getting somewhere at least. So what we're going to do for the rest of this episode is just do a nice time lapse building up this building, defining a style that we want to go with, and then the next episode is probably going to be the other 2 buildings and like some finishing off details around this little square, and then hopefully this section will all be complete. That is the plan so far. So without further ado, let's get into the time lapse. Hey guys, we're back, and this is about as much of the house as we're going to get built in this episode. So, first of all, I'm really liking this. So, a little bit of the time lapse I've just cut out there was doing the roofing. We had jungle and acacia mixed in here, and it just didn't look right. So I ended up getting rid of the jungle, gone all acacia, put this nice dark oak trim all the way around the build, and to me, it's got that sort of like Mediterranean Italian vibe going, and I like that, and I think that's something we're going to continue with. A lot of the larger buildings, the more important buildings, are going to be sort of using either this, or we'll try and get more like the Dwarven feel with this in. Maybe even, some of the prismarine stuff over there. Just mix it up a little bit, but a lot of this is going to be going on. And then sort of the poorer buildings, the slums and all that, will be your sort of normal oak and spruce. But what I want to do is try and get a picture of this little square as a whole. So the next episode is going to be quite time-lapse heavy, and we're going to try and build up this building and this building over here. And then we'll have like a sort of picture going on of what this square is going to look like. And then we'll sort of go in and do all 3 of these buildings together, doing the detailing. So obviously we haven't got any windows in place, like, do we want to do windows like this, or do we want to do windows like this, or there's lots of possibilities that we can come in, mix up, find different ways of sort of accenting areas. We might want to put some awnings in, some like extensions, balconies, all that kind of stuff, especially like in a big square like this. You're going to want a balcony or 2. Ooh, I don't like this. Let's just do that for now. I don't like that either. Maybe if we do that. Well, that's something for another time, isn't it? But yeah, so we're going to be focusing on these 2 buildings next, and then detailing them all up together. Maybe doing a little bit of basic planning. I'm not really planning on doing the interiors of these buildings because they're going to be huge. We'll just see how that goes. But we're going to sort of plan out basic rooms, maybe do like the bottom floors, because because when you do that, you can sort of plan out where windows are going, where chimneys and stuff are going, just like all the little features like that, balconies and all that kind of thing. Also, I've come up with a little bit of a plan for what we're going to do over this side. So let's just take my trusty yellow wool. Basically, the way that Lord Dacker has painted the map is the shallower parts are in grass and the steeper parts are stone. So we're going to use that to sort of build a road up here. Let's see. I think we'll go along here. I know this is kind of going off a little bit, but I want to kind of make it snake the road. I can go up here. And then back here, we're going to have something. I don't know whether it's going to be a like pond, like spring type thing, whether it's going to be a shrine, whether it's going to be like a cave. I don't know. It's going to be something back here of significance. This is a really weird little divot going on there. But yeah, so that's going to look a little bit, it's going to make you want to go up there rather than just being like, oh, there's a mountain there. And then, because we're going to have that going up there, we can then have a larger building in here, which is going to help with the square feel and it's going to cap that end off. This road can carry on down here. We'll probably have some buildings again around there. And I was thinking, maybe that could be like some sort of elven shrine or something. And then we can have like the little elven slums going up into the mountains and into these slopes. But then it's quite close to these larger buildings, so I'm not too sure if that's going to be a good idea or not. And looking at the size of this building now, and looking at the size we've got, we don't actually have like a massive area, which I guess is kind of a good thing because it might mean I have a chance of finishing this build. But yeah, with all that being said, this is the end of the episode now, guys. A lot of chatting towards the end. Next episode should be a lot more action. Like I said, building up these two buildings, probably to the same level of detail as what we've got here, and then the episode after that, we'll go through, detail them all, and in fact, I might even plan out a building over there, and depending on how much time we've got left after these two buildings, might build up a building over there as well. That is it for this episode though, guys. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment below, and if you want to catch me to give me ideas, probably best bet is over on Lord Dacker's Discord. There's a link in the description below, and I will see you guys in the next episode.